the situation. Up there, there's the satchel, and there's a bunch of dead Americans. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17, and today I'm bringing you a 1v1 on Taranto Crossing, I think this map. This is also with some interesting upgrades thanks to the community. I'll be listing their names right above, but they essentially made two separate mods. One is a mod viewer to essentially look at all replays and classify them, delete them, organize them how you wish. The second one allows me to do this, and this is pretty insane, but you can switch between players, so I can see the Wehrmacht player and I can see the American player in this game. Astounding. I know, we're in 2023 and we finally have that ability. Now, to be fair, I've been busy for the past about month and a half, so I know some of these mods, like for example, this mod that allows you to switch on Fog of War and increase speed or decrease speed has been on the workshop for about a month and a half. I didn't know because I've been so busy that I just didn't have time to look. But luckily, an awesome player named Teeks, who was watching my stream, informed me about this stuff. So that's pretty cool. I always wondered how like other content creators like AE and ZanyZap have this. I know AE probably has his own made by modders for his tournament, but it is pretty cool that I can now do this. So we will finally be able to see how much resources each faction has, as well as how they're doing. Let's start simple with a 1v1 to test it out, but very excited. So that also means I can see here that, yeah, he went with the Luftwaffe. So Fallschirm Paradrop is already in place. He dropped off in the middle point with his Fallschirm Pioneers. This is for Dragon LTU, which is the Wehrmacht player in this game. The American player is Ash Landy. One of them, by the way, submitted this game, and I'll reveal who at the very end. But again, thank you to all who submit replays. And now with this, I feel more confident. If you want to submit a replay, please do so, and I will check it out. The only thing I dislike is the fact the colors changed, but you kind of get the basic idea between each one, the Allies and the Axis, so it's not too bad. I'll gladly take that as a small thing, even if they have unique colors on. And also, I can't like click on a unit and have it follow, unfortunately. American player is yet to pick a faction. Also, between a rock and a hard place between the Fallschirm Pioneers and the MG. We also have another Fallschirm Pioneer dropping on in. Great landing there, buddy. But yeah, so he's going to drop on in onto this capture point. They also have the northern one, as we can see here. So again, he quickly went for the two of these main points. We can start the victory point bleed to bring down the enemy. So very nice to see. Resource-wise, 13 to 16 for, let's see, the German. Wait, is it going to switch for the American? Let's see. So the American has 23-16. The German has 23-26. So American seems to... Wait, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. The German seems to be doing slightly better, I think, right? No, that was about even. Okay. Oh, because he just grabbed a bunch of territory. That's why. Alright, that makes a lot of sense. Still not perfect. This is more like CoH3 early stages design, but like I said, I'll gladly take it, so at least I know what I'm looking at for each of these factions. Speaking of which, for the German player, again, multiple MGs have been deployed. Again, MG42 is very solid with their new suppression. Fallschirm Pioneers are also really good, especially with their grenade launcher. Costly, but American forces are pressing against him, forcing the Fallschirm Pioneer back. Also, Pioneer, although in good cover, is weird how he's, like, out in front. Luckily, sees that repositions, though Riflemen in their state are easily going to be able to use their range and force them back until an MG comes in and starts suppressing him. One gets immediately pinned from a distance. Rifleman forces are moving along the side to flank and get away from the MG. Mine goes off, hurting the scout unit, bringing him down to a single man. Not great, especially if a unit goes in to kick his ass. But looks like down south, the Germans are having a little more luck. He might actually pick a model here. They're very low in health. You never know. I think, let's see if he's able to. Shots are fired. Health is definitely going down, but the Rifleman squad manages to get out without losing another model. I double checking here. 14 was the lowest health. So, again, very close. This guy's 2. This guy's in a worse state. My God. Oh, wow. But he's building cover for himself. Good use of it, I would say. Now, as we can currently see, it might be a bit of an issue, as right now we have a situation where the victory points are not necessarily going in the Germans' favor, which, again, We'll see how that goes with the American forces continuing to put pressure in the north. This Fallschirm Pioneer is, well, again, also 2 and 95. Get that guy a medic. It's going to have a real rough time when American forces pour on in. Speaking of, we are seeing some upgrades, finally. For the German player, we are seeing what exactly? So we have here, he's going with the Panzergrenadiers, which again are very solid. The Wehrmacht, again, variant is better at medium to close range, whereas the Doc variant is better at medium to long range with the rifles. Also, wait, what? Alright, nice satchel. Blows up most of the Americans' men. American forces are now over there. For the American player, he's already gotten his that base upgrade, of course, for the rifleman, but he's yet to get further. And that is explained here, because we can see that he's gone with the captain, which means, again, special ops. So, not too shabby. Again, he can retreat to this position, and again, gets a lot of really good bonuses, in my opinion, to really help out on the front. Now, 1v1 is one I don't necessarily see being all that beneficial for a forward retreat point. Just because of the fact that, again, the maps are not exactly as big as 4v4, so it's easier to focus and maybe sneak up on a forward base. But if you're just looking for a solid unit that is great long range and also has good support, yeah, I could absolutely see why he did this. Also, a ton of riflemen. We're looking at 4 squads. And again, each of these riflemen in a 1v1 are better than their 4v4 counterparts because you don't have to worry about as much infantry on the field. So pour it on them is still an effective use and ability. Plus sprint if you need to get across the battlefield. But compared to a blob in 4v4, pour it on them can be more singular focused in 1v1 engagements, which, of course, in a 1v1 is more likely to occur, less so than a blob. Let's see. We double check on Dragon, and that's the other thing is, unfortunately, I can't see this, so I can't see what he's building offhand, unless I just go and click on the base. So here we can see they got Grenadier, MG, Mortar, and Sniper available. Again, he's upgrade further, so we got that Panzer Grenadier. Again, the Stug, that might not be a bad idea for just support and effective against armor. The Stug D, of course, is the other one. Noble Warfare as well could be pretty solid, especially with the Germans have to worry about mortar. But Panzer Grenadiers as well can go on and throw a nice bundle and murder him. But luckily, good reaction time by Ashlandy gets him away. Though MG is suppressing his rifleman and the scout, I feel like these German forces are going to be easily able to tear these American forces apart. Moving on in, just absolutely dominating. And yeah, he's just moving through, forcing the mortar away. And of course, jumping over a fence. Nice. Good parkour. But he's going in for the capture points so that way he can stop the overall bleed. That's also the thing, I guess, because switching back and forth, you will cause a bit of an issue if you are trying to nail down who's who. But we can see here the American player still has a slight lead, but victory points are at a standstill right now because the victory points are in limbo. The closest thing I could see would be the Fallschirm Pioneer moving north, or this one moving a further, I guess, west, and trying to capture that point. We actually have, well, okay, Fallschirm Jägers on the field to assist the Panzer Grenadier, which is holding its own really well against 2 rifleman squads. Neither of them have bars. They do have grenades, though, and that is effective at forcing the Panzer Grenadier out temporarily, though it did almost nothing. Amazing stuff. Fallschirm Jäger, very good frontline infantry and very good just for just devastating the enemy. So again, if he wants to use this to ambush some squads and counterattack, I could absolutely see it being very, very effective. Now, if we check here and see what his overall unlock path is, he went for the Fallschirmjäger, right? Because we know what we went with the initial Fallschirm Pioneer. Then he switched over. Nice blob, by the way. Again, maybe that satchel will come in handy, especially if he goes right there. I'm just pointing it out there. Hopefully the American realizes the situation. Up there, there's the satchel, and there's a bunch of dead Americans. Yeah, that's why you don't blob. Anyway, great satchel though, kills one squad. The captains are just slowly pulling back as the Fallschirmjäger picks them apart. But a heck of a shot there. Anyway, going back over this, we have the fragmentation bombs, which I think are fine. I could see this Stuka Loiter being, even though it's more expensive, being something more likely, just because of the fact that usually American Shermans, if you can bring them out, those planes, you can absolutely have a decisive edge in combat, and especially with armor. I feel like that's the one thing that this guy currently lacks is AT, effective AT. Also, a Pioneer squad, because that just got put down. Anyway, Territory is all over the place. This position's taken, so good job for the Germans. They have their victory points against the American. Unfortunately for them, their territory is scattered, like they're grabbing this munition point. Well, it will be cut off along, of course, with this fuel that's also not being used. You have these points over here that are cut off for the other side, so like everyone is kind of mixed all over the place. There's not really consistency with grabbing territory. Again, him grabbing this will at least have a bit of an actual supply route to go through, connect, and actually get those resources. But again, we'll actually see if that occurs anytime soon. I love this American just causing havoc for the German forces coming on. It's like, God damn it. I just want to capture this territory. Now, luckily, Dragon's been building a ton of cover, so he's been in a decent state overall to at least put up a fight against these riflemen in a building. Now, Ashlandy, on the other hand, again, we can see here he's absolutely lost a number of men, but the Greyhound is on the field, and again, I forgot to mention he went armored battle group. So, like the Luftwaffe battle group, this one's more, of course, armor focused. Doi. But, as you can see here, grants level 1 veterancy, which is why this Greyhound, brand new, is already at that 1. Also, the Greyhound, pretty solid, at least I've noticed, against infantry and armor. Fallschirmjäger does have a Fausto, does hit. Second one could come in, but there's a lot of infantry support right here. And as long as he keeps hitting from afar, I think the Greyhound should absolutely help out in this fight. Rifleman, though, very low. I like how he's pulling back so the retreat path is better for him. Very good job there. Scout unit trying to assist. Greyhound slowly wearing down the infantry. Again, he could try more Faust. More Americans on the retreat. One retreats. Very close to killing that unit, though I think the captain's dead. There it goes. Greyhound, again, just slowly shredding the elite troops. Great shot right there. He's down to a single model. Greyhound may want to try to go in for the kill. Panzer Grenadiers, as we can currently see, have a great bundle, but they don't have any sort of snare. So that means this Greyhound can just go crazy, and also got a nice upgrade. So excellent job just to shred that unit. Again, just to put in perspective, he's at 7 kills. Probably going to shoot up to 8, 9 here very quickly. Again, Fallschirm Pioneers, solid with satchels, but again, no snare. So really, those Fallschirm Pioneers, Fallschirm Jägers are the biggest threat. Interesting grenade there. Good. Am I going to count that as friendly fire? Anyway, can the Greyhound get the kill is the question. Come on, kill the Panzer Grenadier. Get him. Get him, come on! Oh, no, that's so unlucky. Don't get Fausted, though. Don't. Oh, there he goes. Well, wait, no, he escaped. He got outside of the range. All right, well, good job. Fallschirmjägers, by the way, both at vet 1. Greyhound trying to do its best. They just shred him from afar. Again, keep doing well in that micro, and I can absolutely see it. Again, vet 2, we can see here increased speed, rotation rate, rate of fire, and accuracy, which absolutely helps it out. Just constantly keep annoying these guys. MG's gotten, and again, you could upgrade it, at vet 1 to, you know, do a little better. But for right now, it's just being more of an annoyance for that Greyhound. But speaking of which, we've yet to see any armor, and he's also saving up command points. So maybe you get, again, a Whirlwind. Greyhound almost finished up the Fallschirmjäger. Very close. MG now its prime target. And again, I mentioned about the German player lacking AT, and that's what we're really seeing come into play right now. So again, if we're worrying about this Greyhound only, then I think a Whirlwind could be a good pick. Now, speaking of picks, can we get that MG? Finally! Okay, there he goes. Greyhound successfully kills a unit. Again, big old blob of German forces. Now, while this is all going on, the mortar actually went up and grabbed territory. But yeah, I would just tell a guy and just grab everything as much as possible. I know it's a bit of harder when you're trying to micro this and slowly pull back, but it may just be worth it, because right now most of the German forces are just busy being shredded by this Greyhound, and it's amazing. Speaking of being shredded, American forces do have bars now, which again increases their DPS, and you can upgrade them further for another bar. But the biggest issue for me is not necessarily, again, the lack of, the infantry firepower, which is great. Again, that will help him win more battles across the field. Right now for the American is, what is your next step, right? So you got the Greyhound, you have 115 fuel. I mean, you could go for the weapon center, but I don't see you back-teching or a reason. You can always heal, right, with that medical facility, which you've gotten. The upgrades, again, you've gotten special operations, which, I mean, I guess you could start increasing this stuff, but I feel like right now you're okay. Though, actually, I take that back. You've lost 2 rifleman squads, and MGs and stuff have absolutely caused havoc for you. So maybe actually those upgrades would be worth it. Also, nice mine placements at the very least. Also, please heal this Greyhound. He needs some health. What are the Germans counterattack for it? A Stug. Not bad. Stug is really solid. Again, great front armor. It has 210, so good for versing AT guns or other just general things for bouncing off the front. Even bazookas, other things like that will have a rough time. We know this American player doesn't have bazookas because it doesn't have that base upgrade. Just something to keep in mind. Again, additional riflemen, again, with bars could be a good thing to get. Again, I feel like the American had the golden opportunity to grab a ton of territory, but I think the lacking of his rifleman squads were one of the major things. Alright, he got another squad, though, so that will help. So Ash is not entirely out of the woods yet. Upgrade-wise, again, we've seen him get the Scott. Not a huge fan of this thing. The damage is not where I want it to be compared to CoH3. Does have better range than a lot of assault artillery, but still, I don't think it really makes up for the lack of damage. Also, again, reduced population, cost of all vehicles, that's fine. Maybe he's saving up for the Sherman EZ8. EZ8 in this case absolutely could be very effective at killing infantry, and definitely putting the Stug in his place if it, you know, can micro itself very well, and especially if that Stug is in a unfortunate spot, being brought open to more wide open territory and just gets hit from the side. Was he trying to build something? Okay, MG's there. Again, this is something that I will say a mortar or that scout unit with an upgrade could deal with because you could just smoke around it. But alas, we're not really seeing that action. Though we're seeing him retreat. Not entirely sure why, but we are. Down south, the Greyhound did get healed. Good. He deserved it. He's been a good boy. He's been absolutely devastating the Germans. But the Germans have something close by. Unfortunately, though, it's being chased by a rifleman squad. So the Stug's like, oh, shit. He's getting, again, the MG42 upgrade, so at least I'll have something to fight the riflemen. But Greyhound is taking this opportunity. It's like, cool, you're over there. I'm going to go kill your units on retreat. Not the best, but at least it could get a lucky shot, kill a model here or there. Every little bit helps. Now, versing the Stug, Greyhound definitely has his work cut out for it. You probably want to get the hell out of Dodge. Luckily, the terrain is taking a lot of shots, while the shot from the Greyhound does bounce off the front. American forces using flamethrower and a bar, although, again, oh, sorry, rifleman with a bar to try to fight, but that MG is just constantly suppressing. Again, judging by this I think is one command point. Again, another bounce off the front. Stug just having a good day. It's like, sorry, none of your shots are going to pen me today. American forces trying to do what they can. Does throw an AT grenade. And again, he does have a good amount of resources. But Dragon also has a decent amount of fuel. Going with another Stug. Interesting. My assumption would be he knows that this guy went armored. And is like, alright, I need to plan ahead to fight off any Shermans or worst case scenario EZ8s. And the only reason I say he might know what it is, because sometimes with a battle group it's hard to determine. Commanders, like, okay, you have certain abilities, usually of course it's like, alright, I have an idea. We haven't seen Pathfinders, right? We did see the captain, so most likely the Wehrmacht player knows what he went in that capacity. But what I'll say, and of course Luftwaffe, DOI for the Wehrmacht, he should know, the American should know what that is the case. Oh, recruise that. Hold on, Ash. Interesting choice. American that immediately goes down. Again, Greyhound is not meant to fight Stugs head on, and the Stug will probably win that fight because there's nothing stopping the finishing blow. Another Stug coming on in. Again, maybe a nice pintle, because actually that's not doing half bad. Got 4 infantry kills. But you can always bring it back, by the way, with a recovery vehicle if he so wished. Would reset veterancy, but then, of course, the ability would shoot the veterancy at least up to 1. But I think the American has bigger problems, like losing all of his men in that whole kerfuffle. So, yeah, we're seeing an American player at 25, with the German player at 67. So, I feel like it's do or die, and I think that do or die mentality is going to be the Sherman combat group. Because at least you then also get the assault engineer, which would be beneficial for you to heal, as well as the EZ8. Riflemen are with bars and moving on in. Do you have upgrades with these? I don't think you fully upgraded them. So they only have 1 upgrade, which is interesting because you have 250 munitions maybe I'm out there, but I feel like getting additional upgrades for your men would really help you out at fighting off some of these German forces. And again, German forces looking pretty solid. Again, I'm not saying he hasn't lost anything. He absolutely has. But it's one of those situations where 2 Fallschirmjäger, 2 Fallschirm Pioneers, and 2 MGs, on the grand scheme of things, not too shabby. Plus, he just got the reserves. So this infantry reserve upgrade is going to be very, very positive for him. And again, just save on that manpower, which will even further help him get maybe additional armor. If he wants to build fuel caches in the back, right? Use the manpower for long term. Or short term, and just gets more solid infantry. American forces are kind of just playing chicken with it. Although Mortar is getting good shot on the MG. Might actually bring down the... You know, sometimes I'm right, and then sometimes I'm dead right. And that's one of those times I was dead right, unfortunately for the MG. American forces are now being overwhelmed by the Fallschirmjägers, and with grenades, I don't see this fight going in the Americans' favor. That said, here comes the Easy 8. Alright, he did get the upgrade for him. Again, no crushing, unfortunately, but it will just cause havoc for their cover. Oh my god, Fallschirmjäger just being absolutely shredded now. Perfect timing to come on in when they did. And the assault engineer just using its close range. Oh my god. Its close range benefits to just murder that squad. And yeah, Easy 8 put it down. Stug now having a rough time. Easy 8, by the way, has still weaker armor, but still not bad overall health and armor. Comparatively so. It's at 600 to 840 health. Shot taken. Stug. Let's see on the shot. Does about 120. Second Stug coming in. We need 4 consecutive shots. This one missed. We got both of them. Hold on. Grenades being thrown. Again, he's stunned. He'll need to get behind. White phosphorus shell will save him. He did not use it. He is done. And that is a lot of resources going down for the American player. Now, to be fair, he could absolutely pump out another one of these suckers. Thanks to some bonuses he has. But, yeah, I mean, at the very least, he got more frontline infantry, but he did lose the mortar. So there is some negatives. At victory point-wise, he is down by about, 120 to 380. But at the very least, if he does get another one, he'll at least get some more infantry and at least get more armor. But again, overall, it's not worth it. That was so much more costly than a single Stug. Now, it depends how the American... Oh, sorry, not the American. What the Wehrmacht brings out, right? What is Dragon gonna bring into this fight? Because he did lose a Fallschirmjäger. Let's not kid ourselves. That's still expensive. But he got Sturmtruppen, which is a very, very solid infantry unit, especially after recent patches, to make it more appealing. And of course, you have to remember that with this bonus, some expensive infantry becomes cheaper for players, which makes them more likely to be picked and used. And yeah. Not great. Also, again, we have the Luftwaffe combat group, which may be something. He did go with the Stuka Loiter. Now, that's about 180, which we know the German player doesn't have enough resources for. Speaking of resources, he's about to have enough manpower. Wait, hold on. Reduces manpower cost. Oh, okay. Sorry. Hey, sorry. Does not affect the Sherman. But, at the very least, the cost of it won't be so negative for him. Anyway, wait, this is also not... No, it's just overall not part of the production group. Alright, more mines going down, which could absolutely help turn the tide if that Sherman comes out. He just... Hold on. Oh, nope, grenade was used. I was like, what is the resources being used? I guess he just unlocked it. Alright, so we got field repairs, again, war machine. At least he grabbed the MG. Look, every little bit helps, and right now Ash needs... everything he can get. Flamethrower is well being upgraded for the Fallschirmjäger, which combine that with the American bars, I feel like this is the one instance the Fallschirmjäger typically... Oh, never mind. Immediately hits by a mine, and I'm just proven wrong. Panzer IV moving on in. Again, very solid frontline tank. But again, even though that's, a great tank and overall, and that Stug is on fire, right? There's still that key issue of here comes the Easy 8. And if this guy uses Easy 8 correctly with infantry support, he'll be fine. If he just charges in, think he's going to win the day, then, yeah, it's not going to go well. Alright, again, we're down to 480. Never mind. We're down to 360. Can we stop and... Oh, my God. Here comes the pain. Nah, 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 nah. It's not alright. You're gonna die. Alright, Stu might die, but most likely he's just gonna pull the unit out. And now we have additional forces dropping in to save the Stu and allow for a nice win. Also, we have a loiter, which is weird because I hate to break it to you, loiter's not gonna... Wait, did the loiter actually suppress this, or is this a suppression? Hold on. No, I'm sorry, I'm thinking something else. Okay, I guess he was suppressed, and there goes the game. All right, but this one's at least more definitive. So hey, I'll take what I can get. But overall, nice game. I think this is a situation where the Americans did okay, but then he started losing some infantry here and there. Not saying that the German didn't, because here he absolutely did. All of his Fallschirmjägers are dead, but charging headlong with a very strong tank did not secure the win. In fact, the opposite. It ensured one's demise. So I think pushing in and again trying to weaken the Stoogs and just dominating the map and then building up resources to then, as we see with Ash, if I can switch over to him real quick. Or it's just desynced. Alright, well, did you have the building? Okay. So again, you could just pump out additional support with Shermans or Chaffies or, you know, something else, especially with your armor focus, to get that stuff out and to really help you out. But that was not what happened. You got the strongest tank and you charged it in. And you learned what the Germans learned in CoH3 is heavy tank does not equal win. I know that technically in this game, that's what the EZ8 is classified as, but suffice to say, it's not going to win you the game. You still need support, you still need infantry support, and luckily, numbers, for all things, on the German side prevailed. But yeah, that's going to be it. I'm going to see if there's an after action report of this. I don't believe there is, so I'm going to have to end it there. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you to Dragon, by the way, for submitting this replay. Hopefully I did a good job on casting it for you, and you enjoyed it. But otherwise, remember to support the channel, like and subscribe if you like this content, and I'll see all of you next time. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17, and before y'all go, let me give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Joey G240, Milam, Big Cooch, Aphyria, Ace, Pyro Shark, Tony B95, Epic Pleb. Thank you all for your incredible support and helping me grow my channel and support my channel and everything I do. Thank you, and to the rest of you, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.